The movie that's getting the worst reviews this week is not Paranormal Activity. It's not this bullshit, Gem and the Holograms, or even Last Witch Hunter, which I quite enjoyed, but I understand why it's getting bad reviews. The movie that's getting the worst fucking reviews is Rock the Kasbah, which I went to go see at 7 o'clock. Like, I was kind of last minute. I was like, I got like 3 hours to kill before the movies. I got the Friday the 13th thing done, so I'll go see Rock the Kasbah. I was curious. Because I thought it looked really, really good, and I honestly didn't go into it with low expectations. I was like, I don't know. I thought it looked good. I want to see it. I want to check it out, and watching this movie, if anyone goes to this movie and they don't like it, fine. But if anyone tries saying that this movie is worse than Gem and the Holograms...
not gonna go with that one?
No.
Not cool with that
one. Or this movie is worse than Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. I didn't mind this movie. Like, I was watching it like, but then it hit me. It kind of hit me like, maybe this is why it's getting bad reviews. I don't know. Like, the movie's directed by Barry Levinson, who, when he makes a bizarre comedy, he makes a bizarre comedy. Like, he's had good movies like Diner and Good Morning Vietnam, Rain Man, but then there's also just the bizarre shit he does, like Toys, or Envy with Jack Black and Ben Stiller.
And a Troubadour.
Yeah, and a Troubadour. Like, then there's stuff like that. And this movie is also weird, but it's a farce. It's a total farce. Like, I got like about 20 minutes into this movie and was like, I think I know what's going on here. This movie's Ishtar. It is. Like, this is Barry Levinson doing Ishtar. And I like Ishtar. I don't mind Ishtar at all. I don't get the hate that... No, okay, like, if somebody doesn't like Ishtar, that's fine. But, like, the idea that Ishtar is one of the worst movies ever made? Really? Ishtar? Ishtar was, like, an 80s version of, like, a Hope and Crosby film. Like, it's Road to Ishtar. It's these two lousy end up in this third world country of Ishtar, and it's war-torn and shit, and you got, like, Agent Charles Grodin there. What's not to enjoy about this?
Well, I think that's even one, like, I remember reading a thing at some point a while back about, like, Gary Larson was talking about one of his, like, Far Side strips that he did, where, like, it was back in the day, and it was, like, the caption for it was, like, Hell's Video Store, and it was this video store in hell, and the only movie they had on the shelves, just hundreds of copies of Ishtar.
Ishtar, really?
And it was one of those things, like, years and years later, I think he ended up issuing an apology, because I finally got around to watching it. Like, I thought it was funny.
It is funny. It's a total farce. Like, and I thought that when I was watching this, I was like, this is not a movie you take seriously. Like, there is dumb shit that happens in Rock the Kasbah, but I feel like it was really fucking supposed to be stupid. Like, the movie is... Bill Murray plays a music agent in the movie. And this movie it's from the writer of Scrooged, who's good friends with Bill Murray in real life. And it kind of feels like if, like, Frank Cross, like, didn't learn the true meaning of Christmas. And, like...
It's like, well, whatever, I'll just... see what happens next.
Yeah, you get the feeling that, like, he maybe managed some names back in the day, but is now just working out of a hotel with Zooey Deschanel. So this girl is auditioning for him when we first meet him, and she's awful, and he's insulting her, but is still hiring her as a client, and what he's saying to her is a total insult, but he's making it sound like a positive. He says something like, that he's like, I went somewhere special when you were singing. She's like, oh my God. And he's like, you just made me want to swallow poison. And she's like, what? And he's like, you are truly one of a kind. Like, you are like, what do Celine Dion, Christina Aguilera, Cher have in common? And it's the same thing that you have in common with them. It's like, they're irritating, so you are irritable, perfectly irritable. And she's like, he's saying it in a way that sounds like a compliment, and she's like, oh my God, and he ends up signing her.
Jesus Christ.
He ends up signing her, and Zooey Deschanel is someone he's trying to get her music career going, but now she's kind of working as his secretary. So then they end up, it's just some like fucking karaoke bar. She's like, I got you a gig, put on your nice dress. And it looks like it's a karaoke bar. And so she's singing bitch, and then there's this big drunk guy there who's like, hey man, hey, listen to me, you need to take this act to Afghanistan. He's like, what? And then the guy's like, no man, no, trust me, I manage USO tours. You will make so much money. This guy's just chugging from a bottle of Jack. And so this seems like a great idea, because the next scene, they are on a fucking plane to Afghanistan. And Zooey Deschanel is like puking, like hates flying, like, oh God, I'm so nervous. Like, she's like, this is hell. This is hell. And then he's like, no, the Bangles 85 tour was hell. Susanna Hoff did not speak to her mother for a year. That's the end of that story.
My stories about the Bangles would be nice and short and sweet.
And he's like,
keep it to the point.
He says to Zooey Deschanel, like you remind me of Stevie Nicks during the Rumors tour when I was managing their tour. And I came up to her afterwards and said, Stevie, these people are all here for you. Like, you are inspiring to them. And then she punched me in the face and said, my God, you're right. So this is supposed to calm Zooey Deschanel down, and they fucking get to Afghanistan, and they're in Kabul, and so like there's just a soldier standing there who's like, all right, look, we just got to get you guys right to the hotel, okay? If you're like just Caucasian, whatever, you just need to not go outside the hotel. And Zooey Deschanel's like, oh God. Bill Murray says to the guy, like, look, in the future, let's just keep that between us, okay? So then they're in a car, and there's an explosion in the background in the cab on the way to the hotel, and Bill Murray's like, no, it's probably like just a celebration or something. They're just like blowing up a goat. So they get to the hotel.
This doesn't sound like a bad movie at all.
It's not. Like, I'm watching this like, this is funny. This is really funny. Like, so, and this is just like the first 10 minutes of the movie. So, it goes, here's one thing you need to know about this movie. Do not try getting ahead of this movie. You will not be able to predict what the fuck is gonna happen after every scene. So, it's the night that she's supposed to open for somebody who she's singing in front of in this USO show. And then, she writes on the mirror, like, guess I'm not Stevie Nicks or something like that. And so she just leaves. She takes all of his money, including his passport, which is just a dick move, and leaves. She is not in the movie anymore. So he is stuck. He is stuck in here, in this country, in this town. He has no money. He has no way to get out. But luckily, hanging out downstairs are Danny McBride and Scott Conn, who like, man, don't worry, like, we can tour the town. And they're like going around in this like Cadillac through it, and it's like nighttime. You see just shit going on in the background. They're smoking pot. Like, dude, it's just Kabul. Don't worry, we're fine. We're going, I know where your girl is, all right? She's in the hottest club in town. we're going there now. Like 2 seconds later, they just get fucking shot at. Like just machine gun just shooting at him. Like Bill Murray's like, what the fuck? You guys had guns this whole time? Like they're sitting in the car talking and the driver just all of a sudden is... Bill Murray's like, should I just worry that he just did that? So they end up at this club, and Zooey Deschanel's not there because she's not in the movie anymore. Come to find out, she found mercenary Bruce Willis to sneak her out of the country by paying him Bill Murray's money. And so Bruce Willis is waiting for Bill Murray back in his hotel room. And Bill Murray is like, she gave me $1,000 and said you would give me the rest. That was only half of my fee. And Bill Murray's like, yeah, she lied to you. She took all of my money. And he's like, she told me some more stuff about you. You won't let her sing her own songs. He's like, you just make her do cover songs? That's creative suicide. Bill Murray's like, look, that's just smart thinking. You get her out there, sing some known songs, and then we have her do her normal stuff. And Bruce Willis is like, yeah, all right, buddy. If you don't have my money in 24 hours, I'm coming back and shooting you in the head. And then he leaves. No, it's okay. They become friends later. So
this movie sounds like it was written by someone with schizophrenia.
Yeah. And then, no, it's okay. He finds the money quick. Like, problems are really easily solved in this film. Like, hell, this is a movie in which Bill Murray bangs Kate Hudson, who is like, her name in the movie is Mercy, and she's like the =1 prostitute in this town. Like, she goes around dressed like Aaliyah in Queen of the Damned. Like, 1 minute Bill Murray is like, he's flirting with her when she's in the swimming pool, and she's like, how much you got? And he's like, oh, my money was taken, but I have this sweet watch given to me by John Cougar Mellencamp. And that works, because the next scene, they're in her double-wide trailer in the middle of Kabul, if I'm pronouncing that town right. And Bill Murray is tied to the bed in a scarf with a wig, lipstick, and a diaper.
That's how you want to find yourself at some point.
Oh, she's practically his love interest in the movie. And there's like a line of guys waiting outside of her trailer. He's like, guys, it's totally worth it, trust me. And then, like, later on, like, when they're having a heart-to-heart, he says something like, just want to know why... would a girl like you, and you think he's gonna say, like, be in a place like this, but then he says, sleep with someone like me, and then she says, sugar, don't you know what a mercy fuck is? Because her name's Mercy, with an I.
I'm fucking dead.
I quite enjoyed that. But he gets $15,000 really quickly, because he gets it from Danny McBride and Scott Conn, like, come on, here you go, we got money, we're all over the place. Like, he walks in there and they're playing football with money. just
a big brick of money.
Touchdown! Brick of money. And so he's like, all right, what do I have to do for this money? What do you want me to do? And they want him to, like, transport some bullets and guns to this village. And he's like, don't worry, you do this for us, and, we'll get you a really quick passport, limited passport. We'll get it to you by the end of the day. And he's like, is this even safe? And they're like, bro, of course it's safe. It's as safe as milk.
A phrase you hear a lot. It's like, how safe is it? As milk.
So then, like, Bruce Willis is transporting Bill Murray to deliver this, like, these guns with his, like, cab driver friend who's huge into disco music, which is kind of awesome. And then Bill Murray and Bruce Willis are just having a discussion about Danielle Steele, and that Bill Murray's character has fucked her in the past. You start getting the feeling that Bill Murray might be a bullshitter when he says stuff like, I am the one who discovered Madonna, but when I first met her, she was Donna Beckman, who was just playing for loose change on the subway.
That seems like that might not be right.
guys, I actually did not discover Madonna. He's like, I managed Eddie Money briefly, but it was before 2 Tickets to Paradise. That's like his big confessional scene in the movie when he's like, I gotta go back for my client. There's just sacred bonds that are incredibly important. There is like, clergyman and churchgoer, and there's, client and manager. And he's like, and that's it. And then Bruce Willis and the cab driver are like, what about like lawyer client, and what about like doctor patient? And Bill Murray's like, those aren't as sacred. So they end up getting, when they're having this discussion about Danielle Steele, their car just blows up. Like, I leaned over to like, my hat fell on the ground and I leaned over to get it, and suddenly their car has blown up and they're just running outside of this thing. And then these guys on horseback show up who belong to this village that they're delivering this shit to. And Bill Murray is supposed to go back with them because they owe him for something. So I forget how it goes, but they owe him for something, and Bill Murray's like, well, what if I don't go? And then the guy who speaks their language, who's translating it for him, is like, well, if you don't, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna hunt your family down. They're gonna kill them. And Bill Murray's, so what's it gonna be? Bill Murray's like, I'm thinking about it. There's a scene, like, he has this, like, he's estranged from his wife in the movie. That's kind of a loose end that's not tied up by the end of this movie, but there is a great scene where you learn about, he's estranged from his wife, but he still talks to his daughter because he just hangs out, like, her window at night, and they just have a discussion while she's sitting at her window and he's sitting outside, like, well, you know, my day was, it was all right. I might have to go to Afghanistan, you know, things, it's picking up, you know, things are all right around it's like a normal conversation. It's just the little girl's just in her bedroom window and Bill Murray's sitting outside. I honestly thought it was supposed to be his granddaughter at first, because that makes more sense. And then you hear the mom, like, in the other room, like, honey, come back in here. Ann Coulter's about to start dancing. So I guess they're watching the Ann Coulter version of Dancing with the Stars. So he goes back to this town, and he needs to, he's still wanting to get, like, a client off of the ground. Luckily, while this is going on, it's during the season of Afghan Idol, and he hears a magic heavenly voice coming from the caves, and he goes and checks it out, and it's this, a young girl who's in this village. She's a, I can't remember the word, but she's the type of girl she is within this town, within this, country, is like they're forbidden from singing or dancing or anything like that. But he sees her just with acoustic guitar in the cave singing to herself like, my God, I've just heard the voice of the angels. We need to get her on Afghan Idol immediately. And that's the last act of this movie, is like, they're like, no, man, we can't do it. If we put this girl on TV, then we're already getting death threats. I mean, they're gonna come and shoot up the place.
They'll probably kill her.
Yeah, but Bill Murray's like, let me tell you something. I've managed people like Madonna and Billy Joel and Elton John. And the host of Afghan Idol's like, well, all right. They put her on there. She becomes this instant sensation. Bill Murray now has enough money to just fly helicopters around and toss flyers with her on it out of the helicopter. And it's like he's promoting the Blues Brothers show or something. They're promoting this girl. And so, like, she's singing on TV and she's singing Cat Stevens. She's singing Wide World. So she's singing this on television. And at first, everyone watching this is like, ooh, but then they're so moved by the song.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But it is so farcical, like, because, like, yeah, like, they're moved by these words while watching this, and except for the war czar, who wants everyone in this village dead and wants Bill Murray's head. So at the end of the movie, they're going to protect this town because Bill Murray is... his only contract is just his handshake, and that's his word. And he shook hands with her, so he's got to protect her from the war czar and his fucking soldiers who are coming there to fucking behead and kill all of them. So Bruce Willis is standing there with the gun, and Bruce Willis is like, whoa, wait, I'm not sticking around. I was just here to drive you here. But Bill Murray's like, oh, come on. You remember that biography of you we were talking about? This is your hook. This is your American Sniper.
Oh, fuck.
He doesn't say that, but that's like the gist of what he's telling to him. Like, what? So the book can be released posthumously, and you keep all the profit it makes? He's like, I'll tell you what. This is the only time I've done it. I will forego my fee. I will go with 15% instead of 35%. So Bruce Willis like, well, all right. And he sticks around. So it's like this tense moment in the movie where, like, this is now the second movie in, like, the span of a week or two where Knockin' on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan starts playing. The first time was it starts playing in Woodlawn when the coach gets baptized. In this, it's like Three Kings is about to break out. Like, it looks like there's going to be this massive firefight. And I'm like, this at least, like, earns using that song. Woodlawn, no. Like, I'm like, one of the best uses of music like that in a movie for me is like when it plays that song in Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna use that song in a movie, it better be fucking better than Woodlawn. I'm not saying this movie is as good as Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, but I felt it was really cool when they used this song in the movie. And then Bill Murray, they're standing there with fucking AKs and machine guns, like it's just a fucking war is gonna break out. So, but then Bill Murray's like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm a negotiator. Hang on, I'll take care of this. And he goes out to negotiate with the warlord. And he's like, Mr. Warlord, look, we both make deals, alright? Just talk to me, alright? I like negotiating, and you like being a lord of war. And then the guy shoots him. Just in the show. Like, I was honestly expecting, is this going to be something where everybody dies at the end?
It wouldn't surprise me. Like, if you said, like, A shot him, like, then what? Like, credits? It's like,
wow.
Huh.
I would seriously be like, how is this getting so many bad reviews? I'm still even like, I like this movie. No, he takes one in the shoulder. And then just, like, it's kind of like at the end of Desperado, where, like, you know, he shoots Bucho at the end, and then it just kind of fades, and like, well, I guess that worked out fine.
I guess everyone else just gave up.
Yeah, that's kind of this. Like, he takes one in the shoulder, and it kind of stays on his face, and you just sort of hear stuff going on in the background. I guess it all just worked out fine because the next scene she wins Afghan Idol, so it all works out at the end.
He was willing to get shot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You've earned my respect.
Yeah, so he's watching her perform on Afghan Idol, just his arm in a sling. Kate Hudson is still there with him. Yay!
This movie sounds like concentrated madness.
And I really, really enjoyed myself. I was like, I don't understand. Okay, if somebody is like, you know what, I really didn't care much for this movie, I get it. But, like, to say, like, that this is somehow the worst movie of the week, or even one of the worst movies of the year. I liked the movie. Like, I'm alone in this one, I guess. I guess it is like Ishtar. I like Ishtar. Or like that one poor guy in 1980 who gave a positive review to Heaven's Gate. I don't know. I thought this movie was funny.
I'm gonna have to watch this one because, yeah, it sounds intriguing enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just nothing in this makes any fucking sense.
Oh, none of it. But it's just supposed to be goofy. Like, watching the film, I was like, no, it doesn't make sense. But there is not a single part of me that thinks that this is supposed to be making sense. It's just a silly movie with Bill Murray just kind of funnily reacting to crazy shit that keeps happening to him. Like
the car explodes, like, ooh.
Yeah, like, oh, there must be a celebration going on in the background. Or, like, this is a movie where, like, when he gets to the village, he's singing Smoke on the Water to all of the people. Like, I like the movie. Like, I thought it was fun. Like, Bill Murray's having fun. I like his character. I mean, it's a typical Bill Murray kind of character, but you could tell there was some ad-libbing going on probably, but the direction was solid. The jokes were, I like the jokes in this movie are like ones where it just kind of takes you a second. You're like, what? Like that line where he says this is safe, like milk. It was like, wait, what?
No one says that. Keep saying things. No one says that.
So, I mean, I enjoyed it. Like, I would, if everything I've said about this movie sounds intriguing to you, you'll probably like it. Honestly, if you were sold on the trailer, you would probably like it. I thought the trailer sold the movie fine. I didn't leave this like, well, that's not anything like the movie trailer.
It was wildly misleading.
Like, this is gonna sound like I'm knocking the movie, but I'm not. If you like Ishtar, you will like this movie. I feel like both of them are really, really unfairly judged.
We like these kind of like misfit children type movies, you know, where it's like it's like they're looked upon like very poorly, like Heaven's Gate, you know. It's like,
yeah,
it's like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just people when it came out were just shitty about it.
Yeah. Or like how like 1941 is considered to be one of Spielberg's worst, but it's one of my favorite Steven Spielberg movies. It wasn't until I was way older when like I found out, like, really, that got, like, really trashed when it came out? Like, because I watched it a lot when I was a kid. My parents both love it. I still pop in 1941 every now and then. Well, I think that movie's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's never one when people are talking about, like, it's like, oh, like, all the amazing things he's done. Oh, and then this piece of crap.
When 1941? Yeah, if you look at a list of, like, you know, on IMDb used to have their polls. It'd be like, what's the worst Spielberg movie? And there'd be like, there would be the usual stuff on there, like, okay, Crystal Skull, Hook, Always, or something like that. And 1941's always on there. Like, I like that crazy-ass farcical shit like that. 1941 to me's fucking hilarious. I think that's a great fucking movie. I'm cool with any movie that's got Eddie Deason and a ventriloquist dummy of himself sitting in a Ferris wheel watching out for Japanese subs.
When you put it like that.
Or a scene where Slim Pickens is going around chopping down Christmas trees, but it's Japanese guys undercover dressed as trees. One of them smoking a cigarette inside of it. Oh, damn it, oh, just trees is on fire again.
God damn.
That's a classic. Like, I don't know, this movie kind of fit my wheelhouse. I thought it was funny. I would recommend it. I would. Like, if you have to see one of the new movies that came out this weekend, I thought this was the better one.
Yeah, don't see Jim. Don't see.
Yeah, don't see Jim and the Holograms. Don't see Paranormal Activity, the Ghost Dimension. Between this and Last Witch Hunter, It depends on what you're in the mood for.
Yeah, it
This,
sounds like honestly just what's your speed for that day.
yeah, like this is a better movie than The Last Witch Hunter. I legitimately liked this movie. And I liked The Last Witch Hunter, but it's a fun, cheesy, bad, dumb dumbass fucking movie. This one I genuinely thought was good. Like, I don't know, like I liked it. I can see the appeal of wanting to be in this movie. I'll bet you it was fun to make. It didn't seem like it was some cheapo, cynical piece of trash or anything like that. I like the movie. I'm part of the 8% on Rotten Tomatoes that liked it. So what's your final thought on this movie?
I'm intrigued to watch it. You've sold me on it.
Oh, but yeah, check it out. I think you'll like it. Okay, next week, what is coming out next? Okay, it's like that Scouts Guide bullshit.
It'll finally be out so we can finally stop getting 5 trailers.
Ugh, yeah. Ugh. Although I would rather get a 30-second trailer for that as opposed to the fucking Daddy's Home trailer again.
Yeah, that one's not getting any better.
No, man, I just want that to be out and gone. Fuck. After I will unfortunately have to have seen it. So next week is, yeah, Scout's Guide and, whatever else comes out.
It's something.
Yeah. See ya.